Hi and welcome to my first video that I've done from my new book, Christmas Carols Book 1, which deals with grades 1 to 2. We're going to be looking at Jingle Bells, so I'll just readjust the camera and we can start our lesson. Right, so here we are. Let's go through the music. You can see that it's on my page 2 of my book, and let's begin. So, first bit of advice, you'll see from the back of the book that I've suggested doing things, taking things in smaller chunks and small pieces, and even playing like the melody lines separate so that we don't try to overload. If this is still quite new to you, and this is your first steps into playing compositions that have a bass note as well as a melody line, then don't be afraid to take it nice and steady until you get confident to put the two together. So for example, let's take the first phrase, which covers bars 1 and 2. I'm just going to take the melody line to start with. So we start off with a note A, fret 2 of course on string 1, I beg your pardon, string 3, and we use finger 1 for that because I'm going to use finger 2 for my F sharp at fret 2 on string 1. So I don't want the fingers jumping around like that. I can use different fingers to play different notes to get a much smoother transition. So let's just see what this sounds like. So we get A, F sharp, E, D, A. Okay, and again, A, F sharp, E, D, A. So you can see why I'm using the different fingers now and not just using one finger to jump around. Let's add the bass notes in. So we get a D bass now on string 4 with my thumb, and you'll see straight away as soon as I play my thumb I will pop it on a different string to give my hand the stability. Lots of videos on my website about how to provide that stability. And again you can see that I put my thumb straight afterwards on my string 6 to give that hand that stability. So we repeat that phrase, but this time we've got two little A notes, half notes there, quavers, you can see them barred together, so we get 4 and 1 and there we go. You can see now I've used finger 2 for that low G to provide fluent transition from the D that came beforehand with finger 3 on that fret 3 string 2, and instead of making that jump which people often do with finger 3 because we're used to playing a low G with a finger 3, I've used my finger 2 to come over to play there, and that's the reason for doing so. So I'll play the first 6 bars and let's see where we get to. I'll add the bass in, but as I say, you can practice without having the bass in if you wish to start with. Okay, I'm going to play that again, and I'm going to count this time to help us realise the rhythm of the song. So here we go. In fact, I'll just play the melody line this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you go. So now we know where the notes are and how to count the rhythms for them. Let's look at the next section. So bars 7 and 8, it's the actual, I guess it's the end of the first section really. You can see that we're playing high B. It says in the book fret 7 on string 1. I'm using finger 4. Then I'll move finger 2 to the A at fret 5. That allows me to use a finger 3 as I transition down for the G at fret 3 with finger 3, and E of course, and finger 2 on the F sharp. Okay, so I'll just play those without the bass at the moment, and you can see that my fingers don't get muddled and cluttered because I'm playing different fingers for different notes, and it means that fingers aren't jumping from one fret to another. D, A, G, E, F sharp, with the 2 bass notes of course now. Okay, good. That takes us now all the way up to bar 14. We've just come out of a rundown which was similar to bar 5, in fact it was the same as bar 5, and we end up with a finger 4 on fret 5 for the high A, and we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we get our rundown again. We move finger 4, just use that as your guide finger on string 1, slide it along the string to fret 7 for the B, and we get then a high A. You can see using finger 3 on the D there allows me to get finger 4 quickly over to the high A. Right, jingle bells. I've suggested in my tips here that we use finger 1, and that's because we're going to lean finger 4 over to play at the high A at that point, so we get this sound now. Okay, the classic jingle bells. And here's the important part, finger 4 to fret 5. Now then we get a D with finger 2 and a G bass, a string 3 G bass this time. Now we're going to use finger 2 for the high G. Quavers again for the F sharps. And you can see now we're in an area in bars 23, 24, we have a first repeat symbol over them and the double dots at the end, so we go back to bar 17 now and play that second part again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The high G with finger 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And second ending now. Okay, the last 2 bars. High A, G, F sharp, E, and I've suggested we use finger 2, of course, for the D there, and I've put in a nice harmony note to finish really. I've used finger 3 at fret 4 on the D string for a low F sharp, but you could easily just as play that as a D, high D, and an open string 4. Okay, so that ending just becomes, but if you wish you could play it. Good. Have a look at the tips at the end of the book there, and they will help you through, but hopefully you'll begin to see now why we're using particular fingers on the left hand. So here's a reason, and that's a good reason to practice this way. The use of guide fingers to slide up and down the strings, and the appropriate counting to help us play the rhythms. So again, I'll just wish you goodbye and good luck with that, and look out for the other videos from songs in the book.